This Colt was blessed by a dying saint and forged with silver from a church bell. Preacher William Cross explained to the terrified townspeople, "It doesn't just kill men, it destroys the demons wearing human faces. But when I shot the thing that's been terrorizing your town, it didn't die. It just smiled and said, 'Hello, Father.' That's when I knew the demon I'd been hunting was my own son." The town of Redemption Valley had seen 3 murders in as many weeks. Not ordinary killings, but something far worse. Bodies drained of blood, faces twisted in supernatural terror, and strange symbols carved into nearby trees. The sheriff had fled after the second death, the mayor after the third. That's when they sent for William Cross. He rode into town at sunset, a tall figure in black robes astride a gray horse. His collar marked him as a man of God, but the Colt .45 on his hip suggested he served a different kind of justice. The gun itself was unusual. Silver-plated barrel, ivory grip inlaid with religious symbols, and bullets that gleamed with an otherworldly light. The townsfolk gathered in the church as word spread. Merchants, farmers, widows with frightened children, all desperate for salvation from whatever evil had claimed their neighbors. William stood at the pulpit, his weathered hands resting on the blessed weapon. This Colt was forged by Father Martinez in Santa Fe, blessed by St. Jude before his death, and cast with silver from the bell of Mission San Gabriel. It has sent 47 demons back to hell. Mrs. Henderson, the baker's wife, raised a trembling hand. "How do we know you can stop this thing?" William's eyes, dark as judgment itself, swept the congregation. "Because I've been hunting demons for 20 years. I know their signs, their weaknesses, their lies." He paused. "And I know this particular demon's scent." That night, William made his rounds. He walked the empty streets, blessed gun in hand, following tracks only he could see. Demonic presence left its mark on the spiritual plane, a corruption visible to those trained to perceive it. The trail led to an abandoned cabin on the town's outskirts. Inside, the walls were painted with symbols in what looked like blood, ancient sigils of binding and summoning, arranged in patterns that hurt to look at directly. A voice spoke from the shadows, young, familiar, heartbreaking. "Hello, preacher. Been a long time." William spun, gun raised. In the moonlight streaming through broken windows stood a young man of perhaps 25. Handsome features marred by eyes that reflected light like an animal's. When he smiled, his teeth were too sharp, too white. "Show yourself, demon," William commanded, though his voice caught slightly. The thing wearing human form stepped forward. "Don't you recognize me, Father?" "It's been 10 years, but surely you remember your own son." William's gun hand trembled. The face was right, older than when he'd last seen it, but unmistakably his boy. David Cross, who'd left home at 15 after a fight about his father's calling. David, who'd sworn never to return. "You're not David," William said, though uncertainty crept into his voice. "My son is dead." "Dead?" The creature laughed, a sound like breaking glass. "In a way, yes, but death isn't always the end, especially when you make the right bargains." William kept the gun trained on the thing. "What happened to my son?" "Your son found power, old man. Real power. Not the empty promises you peddle from your pulpit, but the kind that lets you reshape reality." The demon circled closer. "Do you want to know what his last words were, before he let me in?" "Stop." He said, "Tell my father I finally understand why he chose God over his family." The words hit William like physical blows. David had never forgiven him for the long absences, the missions that took precedence over birthdays and school plays, for choosing his calling over his role as a father. "You're lying." "Am I? Your blessed bullets can destroy demons, but they can't distinguish between the evil and the soul it's wearing. Kill me, and you kill what's left of David too." William's aim wavered. The gun that had never failed him suddenly felt impossibly heavy. "He's still in here," the demon continued, tapping its chest. "Deep down, past the corruption, past the hunger. Your little boy is still screaming for his daddy to save him. If David's truly inside, then he'd want me to free him from you. Would he? Or would he want his father to finally choose him over duty? The demon lunged without warning, in human speed, claws that hadn't been there moments before. William fired instinctively, the blessed bullet striking center mass. Silver light erupted from the wound. The demon screamed, not in David's voice, but something older, more terrible. But it didn't fall. Instead, it laughed. Impressive toy, preacher, but you misunderstood something crucial. The bullet hole began to close. I'm not possessing your son. I am your son. The anger, the resentment, the years of abandonment. I fed on that darkness until it became me. William fired again. Same result. The demon that wore his son's face kept advancing. 20 years of hunting demons, and you never realized you were creating one at home. The words were daggers, each one finding its mark. William had saved dozens of towns, hundreds of souls, but he'd lost the one that mattered most. Every child you rescued from demonic influence while ignoring your own son's pain. Every family you reunited while letting yours fall apart. The demon was close enough to touch now. I am your greatest failure given form. William lowered his gun, not in surrender, but in understanding. You're right. I chose duty over love, mission over family. I created you. Finally, some honesty. Which is why I know what David would want me to do. William pressed the barrel against his own temple. This gun destroys demons. I'm the demon here, the one who put duty before love, who created a monster through neglect. Father, no. For just an instant, David's voice broke through, younger, frightened, still the boy who'd needed his father. I love you, son. I'm sorry I was too late to save you. William's finger tightened on the trigger. But I won't be too late to free you. The gun fired, but instead of William's death, something else happened. The blessed silver, powered by genuine sacrifice and paternal love, didn't destroy him. It purified him. Light erupted from William's body, not the harsh illumination of judgment, but the warm glow of redemption. The light washed over the demon, and this time it screamed in genuine agony. The corruption burned away like morning mist. The claws retracted. The inhuman eyes became human again, and David Cross, 25 years old and 10 years lost, collapsed into his father's arms. Papa? David's voice was broken, confused. I've been so lost, so angry. William held his son tight, the blessed gun falling forgotten to the floor. I know, but you're found now. We both are. The dawn sun streaming through the cabin windows revealed no more symbols, no more corruption. Just a father and son, separated by years of pain, finally choosing love over everything else that had kept them apart. In the town of Redemption Valley, the killings stopped, the darkness lifted, and though the people never learned exactly what had happened in that abandoned cabin, they knew their salvation had come at great cost. William Cross hung up his guns that day, but he never stopped being a preacher. He just learned to minister to the demon he knew best, the one that lived in every parent's heart, whispering that duty matters more than love. Did this story make you think about the demons we create through our choices? Do you believe redemption is possible even for our greatest failures? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you believe stories about the courage to choose love over duty need to be heard, don't forget to follow the Frontline Voices.